Hey everybody, I'm out here in Georgia, and it's a rainy night in Georgia. Y'all remember that song, "Rainy Night in Georgia"? I guess I'm telling my age really, but I was thinking about giving. The Bible says it's more blessed to give than to receive, and the thing is that there's a verse, and again I'm paraphrasing it, but it says, "Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty, and there is freedom." And that's one thing I like about what our giving in the New Testament, the doctrine of giving. The doctrine of giving is to give what God has put in your heart to give. That's what the doctrine of giving is, and it's basically what you're giving, what the Spirit is telling you to give. And there's liberty in that. There's freedom in that. There's freedom in giving what God is telling you to give. You can, for example, you have the freedom to give what God is telling you to give. You don't have to worry about what man is telling you to give, or get up and some preacher say, well, if you give such and such. No, I have a freedom. I have a relationship with the Lord, and I give what He tells me to give. There's freedom in that. There's freedom in the fact that there's no condemnation when you give what God is telling you to give. You don't feel you don't have to look at somebody else and see what they give in this amount. Well, I don't give that amount. Listen, I'm giving what God is telling me to give. I don't care if it's $1 or $100 or $1,000. If it's $1 and God is telling me to give $1, then I'm gonna give $1. And there's no condemnation. There's no feeling guilty in giving, because you're giving what God is telling you to give. There's good freedom in that. There's that can happen when people can actually have a self-condemnation in giving, because they say, well, I know, so-and-so told me that I need to give this, and I'm not giving that. I'm giving, what I think, no, listen, I have one person please. I have one person please. I don't have to worry about what the Joneses is giving. If Joneses is giving 500 and I'm giving 300, then you know what? I'm gonna give what God is telling me to give. It fits that verse that there's liberty where the Spirit of the Lord is. If I'm giving what the Spirit is telling me to give, I have freedom in that. I have wonderful freedom in that, and I have freedom that I don't have to worry about what tradition is telling me to give. If traditions, well, you're supposed to give 10% because that's a tradition. No, I'm supposed to give what God is telling me to give. And regardless of the traditions, Jesus went against traditions all the time. And because traditions goes against what God is saying in many cases. And especially now, God never told us that, God never put in the Bible for us to give a set amount. So if God tells me to give 5%, 3%, 20%, 30%, I don't have to worry about what tradition tells me to, what tradition is trying to tell me to give, but that's freedom. That's freedom. See, there's freedom right there. I don't have to worry about what other people are giving. I don't have to feel guilty in my giving, because I'm giving what God is telling me to give. And the freedom that I'm giving to whoever I want to give. I've seen sometimes when people say, well, you're supposed to give to. No. If God tells me to give to Joe, I'm giving to Joe. God tells me to give it to this organization, I'm giving it to this organization. I'm giving to who God is telling me to give. So anyway, I just thought about that. I thought that's really nice in our giving as Christians now, New Testament giving, that it's in us, and God tells us what to give, who to give to, where to give to, how much to give, when to give, and we got the freedom to just do whatever He says. All right, y'all take care. Bye-bye.